Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, the Student Government Association gave updates on the impeachment of sophomore class president Chris Montalvo.
Or approving this ad hoc committee, you all should be ashamed of yourself that you are sitting here as a representative of student government, because that is ridiculous.
And 200 lucky seniors won tickets to a school-sponsored pregame as well as the Yale hockey game.
And Q-Thon announced their 2018 fundraising goal.
All this and more right now.
Live from Studio 125, this is the Q30 Newscast.
Hello and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Eliza Krasinski.
And I'm Brenna Oracoli. We'll have a lot of news tonight, so let's get to it. The Student Government Association's weekly board meeting wrapped up just a few hours ago, and sophomore class president Chris Montalvo was the center of discussion once again, and he was in attendance. Beverly Wakiaga has more.
Essential was not enough for some members of the Student Government Association, as sophomore class president Chris Montalvo now faces the impeachment process.
It does not mean that they're removed from office. It simply means that there's an investigation to figure out more, and then the removal of office is the result of an impeachment.
Senior class representative Ali Munshi proposed the creation of a different committee to come up with a punishment should the impeachment fail.
We want to take action, and that was something that we promised that action was going to be taken, and we felt like the impeachment process, if it were to not go through and that was it, then nothing was really done except, like, nothing was learned, no one learned anything. It's just like, Chris is still here, there are no consequences.
Have a group of people that's able to sit down and discuss how we can really improve the culture from this, because it's coming from too many different directions right now and nothing is getting done that needs to get done.
I'm trying to be a human about this, and I think I've been clear about that, and going through with this is just kind of trying to paint a picture of what we want to happen when we create our new branch, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong.
In the coming weeks, we will update you as we learn more. For Q30 News, Beverly Wakiaga.
Q30 Live tweeted the board meeting again this week, so for more information, please be sure to follow us on Twitter at Q30 News.
Some lucky seniors scored tickets for the Yale hockey game and the pregame party, which will have free food and a cash bar. It took 12 minutes for all 200 tickets to sell out. Sarah Russell has more.
On Monday this week, 200 lucky seniors got their hands on tickets to a tailgate that will take place before the Quinnipiac vs. Yale hockey game. The tailgate includes a cash bar and food. Senior class president Austin Salamini said the tickets sold out quickly.
The 200 tickets went in a little under 12 minutes. Yeah, I was actually sitting on my laptop watching them come in. I was like, wow, this is a lot faster than I was expecting, but, I was excited. When talking to athletics about this, they were really on board. We're really excited as a senior class cabinet to get going and working on this and having a great event for the seniors.
But because the hockey game falls on the same weekend of Thanksgiving break, some seniors had already made other plans.
I thought it was like a really nice idea, but I think it's just kind of a bummer since it's like the weekend that people go home for Thanksgiving, so I was already going home.
The Student Government Association has put on tailgates for the seniors in past years, but this will be the first year that a tailgate will take place before the Yale-Quinnipiac hockey game.
So this has been done before. SGA, the senior class, typically runs a pregame before a few different athletics events. It's never been done for the Yale game before. So I think this year we said go big or go home. We're going to try to do one of the biggest athletics events of the year, and we were able to do so. Typically they do other men's and women's ice hockey games and some basketball games too. But we hope it's the start of a tradition. We hope that the senior classes in future years will pick this up, and it will be a good senior privilege and big point of pride for the seniors.
The senior tailgate will take place here at the basketball arena at 5:30 p.m. on November 18th, before Quinnipiac takes on Yale in the most highly anticipated hockey game of the season. Sarah Russell, Q30 News.
The majority of Catalonia has voted to gain independence from Spain, but Spain refuses to recognize the vote because it is seen as illegal. Christina Vitas takes a look at how Quinnipiac is keeping students who are studying abroad safe while they live in the middle of the political turmoil.
With 23 Quinnipiac students currently studying abroad in Spain, the political unrest and countless protests about the possibility of Catalonia gaining independence from Spain has been a major safety concern for students, parents, and faculty alike. We spoke to Quinnipiac junior Callie Keys, who is studying abroad in Barcelona.
So sometimes, like coming home from class, going to class, I'll see protests, people with Catalonian flags.
Most protests have remained peaceful, but the university and its partners are doing everything they can to ensure students have a safe experience while abroad.
And students have been informed actually weekly by our program partners, so our eyes and ears on the ground, informing the students of what's happening, making sure they know where rallies or political flashpoints are happening so that students can sort of navigate the city in a healthy and safe way.
Although safety is on the mind, students have definitely been gaining a unique, eye-opening experience while being in the heart of the action in Barcelona, Spain.
How many people can say that they've been abroad in the middle of a kind of political mess?
I mean, of course, safety is the first and foremost thing that we are concerned about with our students, but education, and that's why they're abroad, is also very important. So we want to make sure that we're looking and having sort of a balance in sort of these situations, because again, a lot can be learned from situations at hand like this.
Time will tell if Catalonia is able to secede from Spain, but until then, protests are continuing and students are staying as politically and socially aware as possible.
So we came into this studying abroad in Spain, and who knows, we might be studying abroad in Catalonia in a few weeks, a month.
For Q30 News, Christina Vitas.
That is the sound of Sunday night's storm that hit the entire state very hard. Several buildings were damaged here at Quinnipiac, including multiple residence halls. Chris Dacey is standing by with the upcoming forecast for this week. Chris, did I hear correctly that some places got over 5 inches of rain?
That is right. The rain was coming down hard on Sunday, and as you can see by this graphic, there was some places in Connecticut that did reach 5 inches of rain. However, most places in the state were in the 4 inches to 3 inches range. Hampton did get 3 inches, but on top of that rain, the wind was going crazy. It was blowing. I don't know about you, but I heard it all over. It was blowing my door shut in my room. However, stay tuned. Later in the show, I will give you my full weather forecast coming up later.
Thanks, Chris. Coming up, the Q-Thon management team announces this year's fundraising goal at a kickoff event.
And Krista Delane has an update on the terror attack in New York City. Stay with us.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hampton, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
Now that's a sandwich.
Bobcat Breakdown, presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network. We are your source for debate.
Did they make the playoffs last year, Tom Jenkins?
When it clicks, it clicks.
We dissect Quinnipiac athletics on a scale you've never seen before.
With Tobia, it almost looks like she's reaching a little bit.
Plus, we bring in the biggest names surrounding college sports.
We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis.
And of course, some comedy.
But you can only have so much arena food.
I think you're crazy.
Bobcat Breakdown, Tuesdays at 9:30.
Whether you're on the quad, in your room,
or heading to class,
tune in to Q30 News.
For stories by student journalists you can trust.
We are covering the latest here on campus and in surrounding areas.
Get the news you need to know every Wednesday night.
This is Sports Pause.
Are you concerned with the 0-2 start for this team?
right here, top of the circle. Again, rips it past the Jasper's goalie.
What will breaking the record mean for the program himself? I mean, 138 wins.
There's the tough shot. What a nice play by Mikey Dixon.
He's good in transition. Just a really dynamic scorer he can create for himself.
And now, Emma, it's time for the top 5 plays of the week.
Residential Life hosted a benefit tonight to benefit friends at New Haven Animal Shelter. Students were able to de-stress by playing with dogs Ben and Tucker, making dog toys, and eating free food. The toys were made from old t-shirts and will be donated to the shelter.
Quinnipiac's Gender and Sexuality Alliance organization has worked hard over the last month to coordinate events for LGBTQ History Month. Q30 spoke to the president of the club on the importance of celebrating LGBTQ students.
The LGBT community is the only community that their history isn't taught in schools or in a religious setting or anything like that. So it's important to get to know your LGBT friends and to understand their history because it's something that no one really knows anything about.
GSA is planning more events for November.
And while LGBTQ month wraps up, Q-thon is just kicking off. The kickoff event held in the Piazza consisted of cookie decorating, dancing, and most importantly, the 2018 goal reveal, which is a whopping $250,000. A patient of the Connecticut Children's Hospital came and shaved a member of Q-thon's head as a result of his fundraising efforts.
It's really a year-long movement that we try to project on the campus for everyone to just get involved and raise money throughout the year. So it makes it easier when we raise, last year, over $218,000. So we keep raising that money for the kids.
The official Q-thon event will take place on February 24th, and Q30 will be there to live stream the entire thing.
Quinnipiac students often voice their frustrations with parking around campus, and now that the school has opened a new parking lot, Carrie Golden has the details.
For most sophomore students, their biggest issue with Quinnipiac is parking. Due to this year's parking changes, many are not happy as they cannot park on the main campus.
Yeah, so for Quinnipiac, all sophomores aren't allowed to park on campus. So they're required to park in either York Hill, Westwoods, or now the new Whitney lot.
However, most students don't realize that the Whitney lot is more accessible and convenient than it is to park in the parking garage on York Hill.
Well, I think for the consensus of most sophomores is obviously it's inconvenient to shuttle to your car. So just to make it as convenient as possible. And then for the people that don't know about the Whitney lot, it is a really convenient lot because it's less than a 2-minute shuttle. It's right here. And it has 650 spots, so it's really convenient to make that travel a little bit easier.
Both SGA and Shannon Grasso are working to encourage students to park in the Whitney lot as there are plenty of parking spaces and it is closer to the main campus than parking at York Hill.
Really it's a minute and 7 seconds down the road, next to Mount Carmel. Every single bus, shuttle bus will come here, anyway, but you could just ask the driver, please take me to the Whitney lot. There's the new phone number you can call. They'll pick you up from here. So think of it as like a giant Uber picking you up here and bringing you back to campus. And it saves you the trip up to the garage.
Parking spaces are still continuing to be a community conversation, and plans to change will still come as the student and faculty population continues to grow. Reporting from Whitney Law, Carrie Golden, Q30 News.
8 people are dead after a terror attack just blows away the One World Trade Center.
Krista Delane has that and more in national news. Krista?
Thanks, guys. Some new developments as of tonight. Police have found a second man they believe to be involved in the events that occurred Tuesday. I looked into the attack, speaking with several students from New York.
An attack struck New York yesterday, just blocks from the One World Trade Center. The man and suspect is Seyfulo Saipov, a 29-year-old immigrant. We spoke to several New York residents to get their thoughts on the attack.
I haven't noticed anything different, but I was on the Upper East Side last night, so that was really far away. And today I'm kind of in Midtown, so I feel like if I went downtown more, maybe I would notice it. But I did hear this morning one of the girls in my classes commutes and took her 2 hours longer than it normally does to get here because they closed the West Side Highway. So evidently bus traffic is very, very backed up.
At 3:05, he turned to a bike path with a truck he rented from Home Depot, killing 8 people and injuring 12 others. One Quinnipiac student was in the city last night for a concert.
When I heard about it, my cousin was like, definitely like, don't go into the city, like, don't go to this concert, it's like your safety is like more important. But my parents were like, listen, like if you can handle it, like if you think you're okay with it, definitely go in, like enjoy yourself.
Saipov had been working as an Uber driver in New Jersey for the past 6 months and was said to have passed the background check at the time.
It was deemed a terrorist attack. I expected police to just be all over the area, but I guess it's because it was like a far distance away. I think they were focusing more on like the surrounding areas than the area by us.
This terrorist attack is the deadliest one to happen in New York since 9/11.
I'm just really shocked. I didn't really think something like this would happen. It wasn't that close to me, but growing up in New York for 20 years, New York's home.
Saipov was said to have been planning the attack for several weeks. He was shot by police in the abdomen and then brought to the hospital where he underwent surgery. He is currently under police custody. Jennifer Apple and Tasha Fueva were rescued Monday after being lost at sea for almost 6 months. They set sail in Hawaii on May 3rd with their 2 dogs to explore some of the Pacific Islands. The mariners were eventually rescued in Japan, thousands of miles from home. However, questions have started to arise about their story. The women say they were lost at sea, but the emergency beacon on their ship was never activated. The beacon is typically used to send out distress messages to the nearest rescue center. Apple released a statement saying they never sent out the beacon because although they were in distress, the boat was never fully damaged. Representatives from Google testified on Capitol Hill Tuesday in regards to the Russian probe. Lawmakers want answers as to whether Russia used the search engine to influence the 2016 presidential election. Representatives from Facebook and Twitter also testified on the matter. Google has received the least amount of attention among the 3 media platforms until now. Trick-or-treating time is over for the year, but there is still plenty of Halloween candy to eat. Actually, nearly $3 billion worth. According to USA Today, sales for Halloween candy this year brought in $2.7 billion. Add that total to money spent on costumes, jack-o'-lanterns, and other decorations, and according to National Retail Federation, a record has been broken at an estimated $9.1 billion spent on Halloween this year. That's all I have for your national update. I'm Krista Delane. Back to Brenna and Eliza at the desk.
When I tossed to Krista, I meant to say 8 people were dead after the terror attack just blocks away from the World Trade Center, not blows away.
Very sad news. Coming up after the break, some shocking weather damage video you don't want to miss.
And celebrities are having a difficult week. Joel Vanner has the update. Stay tuned.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After.
Quinnipiac residence halls took a major hit during the recent thunderstorms. Students reported ceiling and window leaks, flooding, and flickering lights. If you've taken a stroll across the quad this week, creeks and ponds were filled to the top and overflowing. Around Hamden, high winds caused trees to fall, and some students off campus lost power. Quinnipiac's facilities department is working hard to repair the damages. And speaking of crazy storms, we'll turn it over to Chris Stacy for your full weather forecast.
Chris, are we in for some nice fall weather this week?
Thanks. And before I get into my forecast, I just have to mention thanking the producer staff for not putting me outside today. The last 2 times I was doing weather, I was outside. Guess it's not cold enough today. I'm in the comfort of the piazza today. But as I said, we're going to get into the forecast right now. Let's take a look at Hamden. Right now tonight, it's going to be 45. Watch out for some rain later tonight. And tomorrow it's going to be a high of 68 degrees. You thought the cold weather was here to stay? Not yet. The warm weather has one last day here in Hamden, as maybe you want to go hike the Giant. I know we've been saying that maybe it's the last time to hike the Giant, but I'm saying it one more time. It might be the last day to hike the Giant. And tomorrow night it's going to fall down to 58 degrees. Nice, still pretty cool. And let's take a look around Connecticut. It is raining all over the state, hopefully tonight. As you can see, we're going to see temperatures in the mid to low 50s, high 40s. You're going to see mostly 52 in New Haven, you got 52 in New London, and you got high 40s the rest of the state in Hartford and in Danbury there. And we're going to look at my 7-day forecast here in Hamden now. And Wednesday, it's going to, like I said, it's actually a lot colder today. It felt a lot colder today than 56 degrees. I might be a little bit wrong. And it was mostly cloudy throughout the day. Tomorrow, it is going to be warm. Maybe bring out those rain jackets. It's going to be a little bit rainy. And then Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny. It's had a high of 70, maybe another day to go hike the Giant there. Saturday, temperature's going to drop just a little bit. It's going to be partly cloudy as well. 57, low of 45. And then Sunday, the temperature's going to go back up into the 60s, low of 56, high of 61 on Sunday. Might need a rain jacket and umbrella one more time there. And into Monday, temperature will rise once again, but like I said again, it's going to be raining that day, so you might keep the umbrella out, low of 46. And then on Tuesday, the rain will stop, but the clouds will stay. That is going to be a high of 57 and a low of 38 that night. You might want to bring out the winter jackets maybe. Finally starting to feel like fall out there. Well, that's all I have for the weather report today. Again, thanks to the producers keeping me warm in here in the piazza, and back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Dr. Phil stars in his own drama.
And a diversion program is created for Tiger Woods. Joel Vanner has your latest entertainment update. Joel, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Well, Dr. Phil may soon need a lawyer. The doctor, famous for his television talk show, struck a 20-year-old skateboarder while pulling out of a parking lot earlier this month in Universal City, California. According to law enforcement sources, Phil was trying to pass a van when he struck the skateboarder who was on the crosswalk. After hitting the 20-year-old, Phil asked if he was okay, and once the skateboarder said he was okay, he drove away. Apparently, the skateboarder wasn't okay and only responded out of shock from seeing Dr. Phil. The skateboarder believes Phil had a, quote, civic duty to stay until first responders arrived. This past Friday, Linkin Park took to the stage for the first time since the death of their lead singer, Chester Bennington. The night was filled with emotional performances from the band as they held the concert in honor of Bennington, who took his life earlier this year. The band performed alongside Blink-182, Zedd, and Machine Gun Kelly, just to name a few. All of the performers in the concert donated their fees to Music for Relief's One More Light Fund, a charity that was established in Bennington's honor. A Florida court proposed a DUI diversion program for Tiger Woods, and he has agreed to take part in the program. Woods will go on parole for 12 months, during which he will also attend DUI education classes. This ruling comes as a result of Woods' May 29th arrest after he was found asleep at the wheel of his Mercedes. When police woke him up, he told authorities that he was under the influence of a number of prescription drugs. Woods reportedly did not expect such a strong reaction to the drugs. This DUI arrest is the first time Woods has been in trouble with the law since 2009. And Simon Cowell has been released from the hospital a few days after he fell down a flight of stairs. He is assumed to be okay after he gave a thumbs up to the media outside the hospital. Cowell had woken up to go get a drink when he felt dizzy and fainted as he was trying to go back upstairs. Doctors performed a CAT scan and a variety of other tests, but no results have been released yet. And coming up after the break, we have Sports with Olivia, and you won't want to miss it.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Good morning and welcome to the morning after.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Thanks, guys. It's been a big week for Quinnipiac athletics. Quinnipiac men's soccer beat St. Peter's earlier today, 4-1. The Bobcats outshot the Peacocks 20-9. Rashawn Daly scored a hat trick for the Bobcats with 2 goals in the first half and another in the second half. Max Rothenbucher also netted a goal and an assist. This is the 13th time this season where goalkeeper Chris Yakovodics held the opponent 2 goals or less. The MAC quarterfinals begin Sunday for the Bobcats. The women's soccer team made their way down to Lake Buena Vista, Florida for the MAC semifinals. The Bobcats battled it out with the Manhattan Jaspers at the ESPN Wide Sports Complex. The Jaspers notched 3 all in the first 25 minutes to pick up an early lead. With its back against the wall, Quinnipiac mounted a comeback. Hannah Ryder scored the first goal for the Bobcats. And early in the second half, Nadia Gill took a penalty kick. Gill's shot, bottom left, was swallowed up by Jasper's goalkeeper, Kelly DeGreggio. With the missed opportunity, the Bobcats needed work. Madison Borwick scored a second goal for the Bobcats with 20 minutes to play. But it was not enough as the Jaspers held on to 3-2 lead to earn a spot in the MAC championship game. Women's ice hockey began ECAC play last weekend on Friday. Quinnipiac played Dartmouth and lost to 1-0. The next day, Harvard came to town. Let's roll a highlight. In the beginning of the second period, Harvard's Lexi Lang tries to sneak it past Abby Ives as successful both attempts remains 0-0 to begin the second period. Quinnipiac on the power play working it around the zone. Eventually, Sarah Eve sticks it in. Stuck by Harvard's goalkeeper Beth Markham. Within the second period, still on the power play, Katie Cabot is joined by Taylor House with backdoor goal. First career goal for the freshman. There's a breakaway for Harvard's Brooke Javanakovic. She tries to go 5 holes, but Abby Ives closes the hole. Game remains 1-0. Key turnover by Melissa Smojkovic finds Kay McKenzie who snipes to pass Larcone. Quinnipiac leads 2-0 at the second of the period.
Now within the third period, Harvard's Becca Gilmore finds space just denied by the right leg of the Aggies. Still 2-0. And right in the end of the third period, Becca Gilmore rips another shot, which gets past Ives. Quinnipiac wins 2-1, starting off the ECAC play 1-1. Quinnipiac Rugby asserted its dominance with a 74-5 win over American International College on Senior Day. Senior Iona Mayer helps the Bobcats defeat the Yellow Jackets with her 4 tries, all of which were 50-plus yard runs. The 74 points were the most the team has scored in a game this season. On November 11th, the Bobcats will play in the NIRA quarterfinals here in Hampden. That's all for sports. Back to Eliza and Brenna on the desk.
All right, thank you, Olivia. Well, it's officially November 1st, and that can only mean one thing. Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Yep, it's definitely coming up quick, and a few students around campus shared what they are most thankful for this holiday season in Q30's new series, Quinna-Thanks. Take a look at this package up on our website. That's all we have for tonight. Be sure to stay up to date with the latest news by visiting us at our website, q30tv.com.
And follow us on Twitter at Q30 Television and at Q30 News.
For all of us here at Q30, thank you for tuning into tonight's newscast.
Good night.